Good morning, everybody. It's Kay Kaltoff. Welcome to a Stampin' Chat with Kay. We're going to make a couple of pretty cards using the Painted Poppies bundle from Stampin Up, along with the really beautiful Peaceful Poppies Designer Series paper. So I'm very excited to show you this card. It has a little bit of a unique front opening where you cut a card base like normal, but then you just take a little bit of it off, and then the little bit that you took off you're going to use on the as a decorative piece on the front of your card. So I'll show you this in just a minute. It's good to have you here. Welcome. Hello, Andy. Hi, Karen. Thank you for joining in this morning. Great to have you here. I have a couple of cards to share with you that I got in the mail since the last time we visited, so that's always fun. And I'm also going to show you the cards that my downline made and I at our last demonstrator meeting that we had, I can't even remember now when this was. It was earlier in January on a Thursday. I don't remember the exact date, but it doesn't matter. I have so many cards to share from that event related to swaps, and I think the thing that's holding me back from putting them on my Stamping to Share blog is there's just so much photo editing involved. I have to take all the pictures, and then I have to upload them all to PicMonkey, and then put my watermarks on all of them, and then write the blog post, and it's very time consuming, and I've had no time. We've been out of town a lot and continue to be out of town a lot, and it just takes a lot of time. So haven't quite got around to doing that. Hi, Connie, welcome. So you guys, one thing you can do to get in the drawing, because I'm going to do a drawing to give away this card on Tuesday morning or Tuesday afternoon, whenever I get around to it, sometime on Tuesday. Am I doing it on Tuesday? No. Take that back. We're doing it Monday. Will I be here on Monday? Yes, I will do it on Monday. So you have the whole weekend to share the video. You can either share it with your friends, share it on your timeline, share it in a group, however you want to share it, and then jump back here and tell me that you shared so that your name can be in the drawing. Or just tell me where you're watching from, maybe what you're going to be doing this weekend or what you're up to in your crafting area. That's always fun to know. And I feel like I'm losing my train of thought. I don't know. Did I not have enough coffee this morning? At least I got the name of the stamp set right. Painted Poppies. Yay. Hello, Teresa. Hello, Philomena. Hello, Yvonne. Oh, she's already sharing. Thank you. The giveaway on Monday when I do the drawing for the cards, I think that's where I was going, is going to be a surprise again, because I'm not going to send sequins, and the only embellishment on this card is sequins, and I just don't want to send sequins. And so I'll just put together some other kind of embellishment or ribbon, and it will just be a surprise when our winners get the card. Woo, surprise. Yes, thank you so much for sharing. Well, let me show you the card we're going to make, and then I'm going to show you all the other things that I want to show you. So here is the card that we're going to make. It's very, very pretty, I think. I used it as a top 10 card for the top 10 in sales this past demonstrator meeting in January. So it was their December sales. And then when you open it up, it looks like this. So the inside is actually on the outside with the card being closed. So it's very, very pretty. So I'll share with you all the how-tos on putting that together. But first, let's look at the mailbox. So the first card that I'm going to share with you is one from my downline member. She had been out of the country and then had a really busy time getting everything together. You know how it is once you've been on a long vacation. And she got back into town. So she realized it was my birthday, because it comes up pretty quick after Christmas. And so she made a beautiful birthday card that uses the Happy Birthday to You stamp set. And then I believe it has this very intricate lace embossing folder in the background. It's very, very pretty. She colored it with Stampin' Blends. I see the seafoam on here and crumb cake. And then she used a little bit of twine to tie it all together. as a beautiful accent. So I'm going to share this with you now. So thank you so much, Stacy Kratz, for the really beautiful Happy Birthday to You card. I hope you guys like it when I share these cards with you, because I do think they can be a springboard for a lot of great ideas. So here it is. Thank you again, Stacy. I love it. Of course, I always love the notes inside too. They're always so sweet. You guys are very kind. All right, and then the next card that I want to share that arrived in my mailbox was also a birthday card. So I'm getting a few belated birthday cards. This is from a customer that lives about an hour away or so. So she places all of her orders online. And it is so pretty. It uses the Perennial Essence Designer Series paper in the background. And then the stamp set that coordinates with that. Perennial, I don't know, something. I don't have all these things memorized. It's beautiful, and I love the way she did her ribbon wrap. So here's what it looks like. Thank you so much, Rosemary Johnson, for the beautiful, beautiful card. And look at the way she did that ribbon, you guys. Isn't it gorgeous? Oh my goodness. Of course, she decorated the inside, but I'm not going to show you because she wrote a really nice personalized note inside as well. So I want to keep that private, but she is such a sweetheart, and I really appreciate it. And she does give me a lot of support on this Stamping to Share Facebook page. And if you'd like to support me on my Stamping to Share Facebook page, one of the nicest things you could do for me is to like the page. I'd love to get up to 2,000 likes, and I'm not quite there yet, so that would be awesome. And of course, if you're catching this later on YouTube, subscribe to my channel. I'm also trying to build my channel up there as well, so thank you so much. Whether you watch me here or there or anywhere, I really appreciate you, and thank you for your time. All right, now I'm going to share with you the cards that we made at our demonstrator meeting, and we used some celebration items. So all of these cards feature celebration items. We used 4 different celebration items. One theme that you'll see on all of these cards that my demonstrators made at our meeting, or some of them get the to-go packets because they're long distance, was the Golden Honey Specialty Designer Series paper. So it looks like this, and you guys have seen this, I'm sure, but it's got, I'm not going to show you the whole pack because you'll see it on the cards that I'm going to show you, and I hope this shows up, but it's got sparkly gold, well, not sparkly, but shiny gold foil all over it, so it's very pretty. So if you guys are interested in becoming a demonstrator during celebration, there's some really good things going on, and one of those good things that you get far into the future as a demonstrator on my team are all of these make and takes. So I give out the PDF, and I let everyone you know, that wants to have the make and takes mailed to them. I mail that to them so they can do it themselves. It's really fun. We're also using it's kind of like a bundle, but you buy it or you get it separately through Celebration. One is the Thoughtful Blooms stamp sets. We're using that. And then the Blooms punch. And so this is a $50 spend for the paper, a $50 spend for Thoughtful Blooms, and then if you want to get the punch that coordinates with that stamp set, that's a $100 spend. Of course, as demonstrators, a lot of us spend a lot anyway, whether for ourselves or for our customers, and so we often have access to getting a lot of the celebration items. And then the next one is the Sending You Thoughts. So we're also using this one, which is a great sentiment set. Lots of good sentiments on there. So are you ready to see the cards? Of course you are. You're like, Kay, will you ever get to it? All right. So the first one, all these are very simple and can be they're perfect for people who are new to stamping. And they're also perfect if you're in a rush and you just want to make a card fast, which is pretty much me 100% of the time. So this is the first card. It says, Happy Birthday to You. So pretty, and it uses the really pretty paper. I like it. Just a couple punches. Punch, punch. Stamp, punch, punch. Done. Do a little strip of layering. Do a couple of layers. So pretty. The next one that we did, I should try to figure out. So that one used the sentiment from Sending You Thoughts for the birthday card. This next one is a really nice great gratitude card, and that uses the Thoughtful Blooms stamp set and along with the punch. And there's some sequins and twine that you can also get as a celebration item. So those are also on this card. So very, very fun, pretty. And this paper back here, it doesn't come with it colored in. We colored it in with markers, because let me show you the paper. This is what the paper looks like normally, but you can adjust the color of the paper just with your Stampin' Right markers, and it works great because that way you can have your paper actually make it whatever color you want. So whatever color you want to feature on your paper, you can do that. Just color in with either with blends. We use markers, but whatever you want to do to accentuate that paper. The next one is a Get Well card, again using the Sending You Thoughts, and then of course the Golden Honey specialty paper, and we just hand cut the little bee. Doesn't take very long. And then we cut the sentiment out so that we could, you know, add it to the circle. And again, these are just some punches, so very, very quick and easy to put together. Makes a cute little class for those of you that are demonstrators. Or it just makes really cute cards if you just love to play with this hobby. Here's a congratulations card. I really like this one. Uses that punch. So you're punching out a couple of the little petal flowers, and then this is the hot air balloon base right here for the vase. And then we ran it through with the coastal embossing folder. So there's some really nice texture on that base, which I really love. Again, all very quick and easy cards, very simple. And then we have our thank you card that uses that Thoughtful Blooms stamp set. So again, just very quick and easy and simple. A lot of these cards use some sequins from that other giveaway that I didn't show you. That's the sequins and the baker's twine. All right, so that is what my downline members got to do at our last demo meeting. So thank you so much for the hearts. All right, so let's move on to make this beautiful card. And so give me a second here to flip the camera down and we'll get started. Okay, so I think we are pretty much ready to go here. I'll just bring this down a little bit, try to straighten it out. Okay, so this is what we're using today. We're using the Painted Poppies bundle. So you can see it has a lot of poppies here. And then this is the coordinating, well, I shouldn't say coordinating. It's a set of dies. It does have some coordinating pieces. So you can stamp and cut out the flowers and then stamp the leaves. It's got a couple of leaves, so if you stamp a couple times you can double the amount of leaves that you're cutting out. And probably the pieces that I've used the most, well obviously, if you guys have watched my videos, is I really, really love this grouping of poppies. And then I love this little guy here, this little texture piece. And so I'll show you the card again. It's just so simple. It's just so easy. And then to make all this color here, in addition to just blends, I just stamp that little texture piece at the bottom for grass, and then I just stamp it around in the flowers just for some additional color in the flowers. It's so much fun and so easy. We're also going to use the Peaceful Poppies Designer Series paper, and the piece that I decided to use is this one, because I wanted to use this beautiful poppy wash paper on it, as well as this part right here. So that's the only Designer Series paper that I'm using, but I really love it. Of course, you could change up the colors a little bit. So you could do maybe a green. You could do, what's this one? Some blues. I mean, there's lots of different things. I just chose to use the Poppy Parade because that's the one I did for my downline for their top 10 cards. So that's the one I'm going to share here today. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to cut the card base. So let me get this out of the way. I'm actually not going to show you. I have it all pre-cut. So basically, let me get some paper here so you can see what I'm doing, because once I have black cardstock on this, it makes it kind of hard to see. Give me a second. I'm going to grab a piece of chipboard here. All right. So basically, what you have here is a 4 1/4 by 9 3/4 inch panel of basic black, and then I've scored it at 4 1/4, so that when you open it up, you have a square section over here, and then your standard card size section over here. But actually, and then of course, I also have a couple of pieces of paper that are 1 1/4 by 4 1/4. Actually, what this is that, let me get rid of all of these little pieces of paper. Actually, what this is just a standard size, landscape card. So this is actually 4 1/4 by 11 inches, scored at 5 1/2, and then I open it up and I cut off 1 1/4 from one side, because we're going to take this little piece and it's actually going to be the embellishment on the front of our card. So pretty easy. So, but I didn't want to, I wanted to show you exactly what the measurements were in case you forget to do that. So it's basically this here and then this little piece here that goes back here. Okay, so let me get rid of all of that, and I'm going to set these aside because we're not going to do that right yet. I just wanted to show you that. So we've got that ready. The next thing we're going to do is we have some pieces of designer series paper, and these are cut. I have 4-inch square ones, and then I have 1 1/4 by 4-inch ones. So those look like this. So there it is. And then we have our inside panel, which has a peek through to the outside. So those are Whisper White, 4 by 5 1/4. So that is what we need for putting this card together in a basic sort of way. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to take away all these little measurements. The first thing that I'm going to do is we're just going to put our panels onto the Whisper White. So again, these were 1 1/4. Is that? Yep. 1 1/4 by 4 inches. And that's just going to go right over here. So I'm going to take my multi-purpose liquid glue, and we're just going to set this in right over here and press that in, and you can wiggle that into place. Oh, and wouldn't you know, it's absolutely perfect. I was hoping that I could use the little mini trimmer that you get as a new demo during Celebration. I was hoping I could use that to trim the edges up, but no, my cutting was really good this time. I didn't mess up at all, apparently. So here again, you're just going to glue this down. Looks like I'm kind of running out of glue. And set this in, and just again, wiggle that into place. And there we go. So that's our panel that's going to go on the inside of our card. So again, we're going to grab the inside pieces here, or the pieces of our card base. So I'm going to move all this so you can see what I'm doing again. Here we go. So we're just going to open this up. And if you're wondering why I use glue on this, because you know I don't usually use glue with Whisper White, it's because it's going to go, we're not going to see this side of it, it's going to go down right like this. So now, to put it onto the inside panel of my card, just adding a little bit of snail at the top, and then we're just going to set this in so all 4 borders are nice and even. Give that a good press. We're going to do the same thing to this one over here. These will be my giveaway cards, so be sure you share or comment or let me know what you're working on, or anything else you want to talk about, either during our Facebook Live or during the rebroadcast. There we go. So we have our little peek through all ready to go. Now we can go ahead and we can take these 4-inch pieces or 4-inch square pieces. It's just the other side of this paper. Now what I do, let me show you the card again, is the human eye likes to see things in gradation. And so I like to put the heaviest part of the color towards the bottom and it goes lighter towards the top. So when I look at this paper, I see that the heaviest part of the color is to the bottom here. So that's what I'm going to put on the bottom. So it doesn't matter how the flowers are here because we're not putting flowers to the front. I know, it seems like kind of a shame to, boy, I've got to do something about that glue. It's really getting down there. It seems like kind of a shame to put that to the bottom, but this is such a striking card that this beautiful poppy wash is just beautiful on the front here. So that's what we're doing. Do the same thing to this one. And again, I'm just giving a quick look at this card, and I feel like the deepest part of the panel, the deepest color, is to the bottom here. So that's where I'm going to keep it. Hold on a second. I'm going to try and fix this glue. I feel like there's enough in here. It's just not coming out very well. Oh, okay. Well, that fixed it. Now it's coming out really well. All right. So, did you see that? I almost made a glue mess here. There we go. So we're going to set this on. Wiggle it into place again so all 4 borders are nice and even. So this is going to be a completely flat card too, so very easy to mail. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take those black cutoff panels that I cut off from the edges here, see? And what we're going to do is we're going to add some glue to the back. And we're going to set these in about, I don't know, maybe 1.5 inches from the bottom. If you're going to make any errors on this, err to the fact that you would rather have the bottom wider than the top. Let me make sure I did this about right. Yeah, it could go up just a little bit more. So I'm going to scoot it up. That's the good thing about glue, is it gives you that little bit of wiggle room. There we go. So I'm going to do the same thing to this card. I'm going to just glue this panel on. I'm going to set this just a little bit higher this time, right from the start. And that looks great. Okay, so now we're going to we have our card bases ready to go. So now we're going to do a little stamping. So the next thing that I did is I took some scrap pieces of Whisper White. So now I'm going to move this. And I cut them out with the dies. I don't know what I did with those. I should show you though. Oh my goodness. How is it I can lose things that are just on my desk, like they were just here because I just showed you, and now they are nowhere. I don't know where they went. Anyway, there's some oh, here it is. Good Lord. There's some dies that are part of this painted Poppies bundle, and this is called the painted labels. And so the one that I'm actually using 2 to create this card, is I'm using this one that has the little kind of half circle or quarter circle cutouts on each side. And then when you run it through, it sort of makes a divot all the way around. I love it when Stampin' Up! Has dies that sort of cut and emboss at the same time. And then we have this little piece here that I used as the little decorative edging. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this beautiful set of Poppies, and I've got the Tuxedo Black Memento ink, and we're just going to ink this up. And the reason I used the Tuxedo Black Memento is because we're going to be using Stampin' Blends. So I need a piece of scrap paper here. So again, I'm just going to bring this chipboard back in, and I'm going to just set this about right here, give it a press, and there it is. Oh my goodness, how gorgeous. Do the same thing to this one. Again, Tuxedo Black Memento ink. And then again, we're going to do the exact same thing, just stamp these poppies right on this label. Perfect. All right, then we are going to do a little stamping and coloring. So to do your coloring, like magic, this one's done. I'm going to set these aside. Like magic, this one's done. I only used one Stampin' Blend. I just used, let me take this out of the way. I just used the light Painted Poppy Stampin' Blend. And then this one is almost done. I'm going to finish it here for you. So I take the brush end and I'm just going to, well, you know what? I was wrong. I think I used the, of course I prepped this a few days ago and I think I forgot. I must have used the dark painted the dark poppies. Oh, I can't talk. What is this? Light Poppy Parade. I think I should use the dark Poppy Parade. So hold on. Let me try this. I think I used just one blend, but I used the dark Poppy Parade. So I didn't have the right one here set up. Sorry about that. I'll make sure that when I do the notes as to all of the supplies that I used, I'll make sure I put the right one on the notes. All right, so that looks like they match more. Perfect. And I didn't try to do any blending. You could, I mean, you know, adding extra color or whatever. You could if you wanted to, but I didn't. And so now what we're gonna do, I'm gonna bring this back in. This is coming in and out of the photo here. We're going to take some old olive ink and that cute little texture thing, and we're going to add our grass. So I just stamp some grass right down here at the bottom. It's so easy. This is the cutest little stamp set, and it's so much fun to add this little grass in. It looks really cute. So let me finish this up, and there it is. That's all there is to it. So the grass is in. Now what we need to do is clean that little texture stamp. So I keep my chamois. I cut my chamois in half and I put them in these half mount wood mount cases. I love it this way. It's so much smaller and it doesn't take up near as much room on my desk. And then if I'm in a big stamping session where I would get one of these all full, I can just, you know, put it to the bottom or flip it around or whatever you want to, you know, whatever you would want to do. But it's just so nice to have it in this half mount wood size case. So that's all cleaned up. Now we're going to take the Poppy Parade ink pad. We're going to add a little color behind these poppies. So what I'm going to do is ink it up and then stamp it off and then stamp it on, because that allows the flowers to really shine. Whoops, I lost track of which way I was going. I better start over here. There we go. So stamp off once and then you can stamp a couple of times. And look at that. It's so pretty. I hope you can see it. It's so pretty. I just love it. All right, so we're gonna do the same thing to this next one. So stamp on once, ink up once, stamp off once, and then stamp twice. That's what I was trying to do. Yes, that's the ticket. Ink up once, stamp off once, and then stamp twice. But if you think about it too much, it's really confusing. So don't think about it. I didn't have any problems doing it until I started talking about it. All right, so that is done and beautiful. All right, so let me get this out of the way and we will add this to our cards. So here we have our cards. And we're just going to, actually one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take those little black cutouts that I prepped. You know what, I gotta keep this in here. So I've got to show you how to do this. So these are these little black, I use basic black cardstock and just cut out a couple of accents for this particular piece. You can see it looks like this. Well, guess what? This little accent piece, which I, for some reason, cannot seem to get hold of, is exactly the same size as this label. Oh my goodness, how perfect is that? So, to put it on here, I'm just going to add a little glue. You don't need very much. Just add a little glue to the back. There is a front and a back to your die cuts. Did you know that? Kind of the sharp, edgy part is the back. So we're going to add a little glue to that. Then you can just flip that over, and we're going to set this right on top of that bottom edge. See? That just looks so cute. So we're going to do the other one now. Just take it and just set it right there at that bottom edge. Just kind of wiggle it into place. You got that little bit of wiggle room, and there it is. Yep, that's all good. All right, so let's go back to our card, and we're just going to add this beautiful finishing touch here. So I'm going to do that with snail. So I'm just going to put a little snail here on the back. We're going to set this in. And you want about the same amount of the black banner on both the right and the left sides. That looks pretty good. And we'll do the same thing with this one. So I'm just going to add a little snail to this. And we're going to set this in just like we did on the other card. So this is a very elegant card, and it's flat and very mailable. So the best thing about this card is you can use it for anything. So what's nice sometimes about having those blank cards on hand is you could turn this into a birthday card or a sympathy card or a thinking of you card or a thank you card. This particular style of card could just work for so many occasions. So I like to call this my all occasion card. Now, the finishing and most wonderful part about this whole thing is adding this these beautiful touches of sequins. These are the Peaceful Poppy sequins, and I have completely changed my tune on sequins since this came out. I love using them now. They are so easy to put onto your cards when you use the Take Your Pick tool. So I'm just going to take the little shovel part here. I'm going to just shovel a few over here. So I don't want too many. Then I'm going to take this very full container and carefully set it aside because I don't want to have that anywhere near where I'm doing this because I'll probably just really mess it up and end up with sequins everywhere. All right, then you're going to take your glue dots. So get your glue dots handy. And what you want to do next, or at least this is what I find works really well for me, is... I mean, there's lots of ways to put on sequins. I'm just showing you what works for me. Everybody has a little bit different procedure, but this is what I do, and it works great. So, actually, there's two ways that I do it. So I'll just show you one way, and then I'll show you the other way. So one way that I do it is I take my tip of the Take Your Pick tool, and I grab a glue dot, and then I look for a sequin that's upside down. And then I just set that glue dot right on top of an upside down sequin. Of course, this one didn't really behave because I got my big fingers in there. But in the perfect world, this would have worked, but it's not a perfect world. So sometimes it works better than others. But then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this little sequin and set it right here and press it into place. There, now it's behaving. So this whole card I'll do the way that I, often use my Take Your Pick tool. So I just grab the glue dot, I look for an upside down sequin, and here's one. Oh yeah, this one worked a lot better. Except there's two sequins. There we go. They kind of jump together, and then it's hard to get them apart. All right, so there's 2 little sequins. See, this is actually pretty quick. You just have to make sure that you have a few sequins that are upside down when you're doing it this way. And it looks like I don't have many upside down sequins, so I'm just going to pop them around a little bit. Oh, here's one. Here's an upside down sequin. And then I flip it around, and I'm just going to set that maybe right here. All right, so that's one way to do it. Then the other way to do it is you look for right side up sequins. Yep, there's another way to do this. So now, if you don't have any upside down sequins, look for a right side up sequence and then use the kind of putty end of your take your pick tool and pick it up. So now I went for a right side up sequin. I'm going to brush off this secondary sequin. And then you can take that and just put it right over the top of a glue dot. All right, so now again, I'm going to look for a sequin that's upside down or right side up, and we'll just set it right on top of a glue dot. I think I did that right. Or did I have a second sequin? See, these sequins kind of nest together, so you got to be a little bit careful. All right, I've got this in my finger. I'm going to put it down. There we go. And then I'm going to do the same thing. We're going to look, here's another one. Wait, I think I want to use a black one. Where is the black one? Of course, once you know, oh no, here we go. Here's a black one that's right side up. Again, I'm just going to set it right on top of the sequins. Then I use my other end, the little pointy end again. And now I can just put them on my card wherever I want them. So it's fairly quick. So put this one up here. There we go. So the sequins are done. Honestly, it doesn't normally take me this long. I think it's because I was trying to explain it that it took longer. Because really, I've been using sequins a lot more, and they're lots of fun. So, you know, I really didn't care for sequins until we got the Take Your Pick tool. And now I kind of like putting them on my cards. They're cute little accents. They're flat. They're easy to mail. I like that. So here we go. Here are the 2 cards that we made today. Here's the one I had done in advance. Thank you so much, everybody, for being a part of my Stamping to Share community. I really appreciate it. You guys have a great day and a great weekend. And I will be back here next week with more cards to stamp and share. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.